Well, welcome everybody to Games Changers Men's Roundtable. I just want to thank all the gentlemen for participating with me today. I thank you so much. And so I'm Kennedy. I'm the leader of Game Changers. It's a group for single men and women, and that we are women and men of God. And we're in dating in this world of dating, but we're being whole. We want to make sure that we whole and that we understand each other, and that what we're doing in the group is to uplift each other. And then we do devotionals, and we have speakers that come, and we do discussions like this, just so we can get an understanding of how the opposite sex works, thinks, and how they move. And so I think as women of God, it's good to talk to our brothers of God and to get a better understanding. Who better than we can trust than our own brothers, okay? And I know you all in your respective places, whether it's minister or deacon, but in this round table, I'll ask that I simply call you brother, so that was where we coming from, a relationship of brotherhood. Right. And so we have Brother Wayne Wells, we have Brother Tyler, we have the Brother Javon, we have Brother Gabriel right here. And I want to thank you all one by one for coming. And so what I'm going to do is just get right on into this for time's sake. And so I have polled the group, and we did finally this week get our first male in the group. So we so happy about that. We're going to try not to exhaust the brother with all these thousands of questions that he's getting ready to get bombarded with. Because everybody going to run to the brother and be like, man, what you thinking? So I'm going to refer them to this video and be like, well, we already got a little bit of resource for this. Let's flip through. And so the first question is, do men really want or like being in a relationship with a woman, with a woman, hopefully.
Since I got the
do
mic,
men really like being in a relationship one-on-one? Yeah.
I would say a simple yes. I think we look for it, we desire it, and not just any woman, but some woman that's going to treat us the way that we desire to be treated.
Okay, so thank you for that. And so what values do men of God seek when they're looking or at potential mates?
Just look for somebody that's gonna make you be evenly. Look for somebody that's gonna make you be evenly yoked. I guess somebody that you can get along with. Like I was saying, I'm married. I'm not gonna say I'm single, but when I was dating my wife, or I dated her as, like she was talking about earlier, as friends. We wasn't. It started off as in high school as cracking and joking, or me, cracking on her, as I call it. But it was actually showing love to her and showing her that, I'm attracted to her. I think you're this. I think you're that. I think we'd be a great couple. And that's just how I go about my relationships.
Okay. And you had a success. You have a successful marriage.
Yes, I do.
So the way you approached it, it worked well for you all. And like I said, we were saying that y'all were friends. Y'all were friendly
first.
with each other. Great. So let me ask you this. This is something a little deeper. Do you all know what the mother syndrome is? Have you ever heard of something called the mother syndrome?
I haven't.
Oh, your wife trying to treat you like she's your mother.
Something to that effect, where men actually have this syndrome where they seek women that's mothering, not being like a helpmate kind, but they looking for, a mothering type of woman.
Right. I don't need that. I don't need that.
Cuddle.
Yeah, so to speak. And that same man will say to that woman, when they're suiting her, they're saying the things that their mother does for them. Not so much as what they want what you would think they want their woman to do.
Right.
It's, well, my mom washes my clothes and my mom makes sure that's done. Right. So do you want a mama or a woman? Right. So, but I was just wanting to know, and I hear Gabe say you've not heard of that.
I mean, I could follow it when you said it. I think I know some guys that where their moms have been in their life, where they raised them and they try to teach them, like, hey, this is what you should look for in a woman. Like, you should have someone that meets your needs, is a help maker. You know what I'm saying? Because if most men are like just the working class, is more difficult to work and then come home and cook. So if you have someone, but if in these day and times, if both parties is working, like it's
Share a role.
yeah, we're gonna share a role. I don't believe in like gender roles, and I don't believe like a man should only want a woman just to, just to be my mom. I don't think that's needed. I think people need to have like a healthy perspective on what a relationship is, on what, because if a man doesn't know himself, he doesn't even know what he's looking for, what he needs in a wife, or what he needs in a helpmate. So, because you could just go by what culture says. I need someone to sleep with. I need someone to make a family with. I need someone to, meet all my needs that I don't want to do, clean my house. That's not what a wife is for. I was actually reading a book, and it talks about like how God structured man and women to relate to each other. Men were never supposed to dominate over women. It was supposed to be a partnership. This is I'm in the world, and I'm gonna get someone in it with me that can assist me versus I can tell what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to, just touch that. But I don't think that's a fair dynamic to have someone just to be their mother.
Good. And so that's another question that's on the list as well, and it's about that let me see, it's on this side. That's one of our deeper questions. You had turned the page on me right there. And so it says, what are some of the questions this is one of them. What are some of the questions that we as single women, what are some of the questions that we should be asking a gentleman that's trying to suit us? And knowing that we're in the Word, and that, because sometimes they look at you and they figure just because you go to church don't mean you in church, and they'll try you.
That's good.
So, and so I'm like, okay, so how do I respond to this person or this gentleman in a way that lets him know, no, I don't just go to church. I'm in the church, and the church is in me. So you're going to have to dress me a certain kind of way. So what are some of those questions that we need to be asking them that'll let them know, hey, this is where we at?
So honestly, I don't feel like there's righteously questions. I feel like it's more action based. And so like, because the specific question you're asking as far as, not just going to church, but actually the church is actually in you, or Christ is in you, that's all action based. You go back to what Jesus said, they will know that you are my followers by the fruit that you bear, right? So the fruit that you bear is literally the actions. And so if that male is in the church, you should be watching him do things that exemplifies what he's in here. We all rebirth that he does in the church, but also outside as well. So when you talk to him and have those serious conversations about like how work going and stuff like that, whatever, and he having a bad day, well, there's something inside of him that needs to say to a certain degree, that needs to switch and be like, man, but I'm thankful that I still got this job. Thankful that I still got this, whatever, or something that shines a light on this bad situation, where you be like, oh, okay, cool. When it comes to, we living in a world nowadays or whatever, when there's single parents. So when it comes to dealing with, single parents and how they do relationship with the other parent, there should be a light that shines on, hey, like, man, like, this situation sucks, but God still gave me my child. God still showed me this. And like, there should be conversations. There's also should be actions where it's showing that there is some type of fruit that's in it. When it comes to, if we're gonna be real, tithing. Like that's the thing too. If you're telling me you tithing, but I don't see that you tithing for real, like, cause we real, like, we're not, I talk to young adults all the time, and I tell them as well, like, if you're gonna be serious, let's be serious about this walk with Christ. So if you're not showing me that you walk on Christ for real, then I need to evaluate this relationship, period, whether I'm a male or a female. But when it comes to you guys looking at us, because we're the head of we're going to be the head of the household, and y'all looking for that, we supposed to be looking, we should just be doing exactly what Adam actually did in the garden, besides fall.
So let me ask you this though, but I didn't meet him at church. I met him at Piggly Wiggly, so I don't know if he tied. I don't know if he usher or work on the ministry anywhere. So what are the questions that I need to
you go back,
do you go other than do you go to church?
So go to the basic questions. Hey, what church you go to? So start off as friends. Ask those regular friend conversations, or just general questions. Hey, so what church do you go to, or do you go to church? He say, yeah. Do you believe? Like, do you believe? Answer. Oh, you about to make me go somewhere else.
Okay.
Not just. Oh, do you believe in God? But yes, do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe in Yeshua? Like, do you recently
have a
believe him? Okay, cool.
relationship?
Do you have a relationship with him? Do you believe that he's also your Lord and Savior, and not just your Savior?
Okay.
Like, have those deep conversations, because that way you can gauge it. And two, of course, everybody's on their sanctification journey, so he may not be in the spot where
Every measure
he's
of
all
faith.
the way in, so to speak. But you can see at that time when you're getting to his life whether he's stepping in direction.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Wayne, you got something to add on that?
Say the question again.
Well, let's for time's sake, we're gonna
Okay.
move on. You'll get a chance.
Yeah.
Because I want to go back to this about would you see your partner as your accountability partner, and how and why? Going back to what Gabriel said, can you see that partner as being your mate, but your accountability partner in
Yes.
some of those things?
I think that's important, to allow somebody to hold you accountable for whatever, like even the question he just answered. You say you're a man of God, and then when pressure's on, how do you act under pressure? How do you act to the temptations that we face as a single couple? And how do you actually respond? Not just what you say when we're not under the pressure, but when we get in that situation, are you the one that'll hold back and say, hey, hold up, we don't need to go no farther than that. We need to set some boundaries. Or as far as accountability, when she sees you slipping in what we both know as the word says for us to do, and now here you are snapping at the lady at McDonald's because she didn't count your money right. And I'm just using that as an example, but an accountability partner, somebody that you have befriend, and that now they can say, hey, I don't like it when you do that. That makes me nervous, or I just don't feel comfortable. I don't feel secure when you do that, whether it's in public or
Yeah.
in private.
Do you think damaged people attract damaged people?
I think damaged people will pour out what they have into them, whether it's a damaged person that they're confronting or somebody that's healthy. And if you're healthy enough, you can notice that damaged person that is pouring out to you trash, and you hold them accountable. If it's somebody that you really care for, and you can tell them, hey, when you do that, that ain't a good look, or you need to feel, I know you're not focusing that toward me, but that's something you need to work on, and I'm willing to stand with you.
Are men really, really willing to do that? Or some men? Some
I
men
say
willing
every
to-
individual is different, so some men can handle stuff like that.
You know,
and some can't.
I say that because this gentleman tried to talk to me once, and I told him all the things that I do, with church, with business, and all that. And his response was, "Oh, well, you wouldn't need me."
Wow.
And I said, like, just because I'm not saying I need you financially, or is that all? I said to him, so you sound like you like needy women. His response was, they appreciate you better.
Wow. Walk away.
Oh, he been blocked. You better ask, I will block you. What? Say what?
But let me speak to that, because just to touch on that, you got to understand the age group of person that you're talking to, his upbringing, the culture he in, because in one setting, you may have, my last 3 girlfriends told me, if you can't do this or provide for me, so there's no need for me. So now if my mind been conditioned, if I can't buy you and treat you to nice things, that's where my value lies. So when I have someone else that shows me that, hey, your value is not only limited to you, what you can provide and what you can give to me, is almost that has to be his mind has to be transformed that well this is always what I thought. My mom kicked my dad out because he couldn't pay the bill, so if I can't provide, then my last girlfriend left me because of the car I drove of the you know what I'm saying. So if this is where my mind has been placed, it's difficult to pull myself out of that because I placed all of my value on what I can give to a woman financially. So if I can't do that, what else can I do? You know what I'm saying? So that you can, I mean, you got to try
That's
to
what his
sow into
value
them.
was.
Sometimes you have to sow into them if they're willing to receive it, though. Like, well, sometimes I just need somebody to hold my hand in the park. I just want, when I have a rough day, I need to be able to pour into somebody that pours back into me with good things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't cost you a dime to do that. And that may be, a revelation for him.
That's good. That's good. One of the questions was too, how soon in once you you meet this person and y'all find talking back and forth saying it's sort of working a little bit, let's see how far it goes. How soon in that friendship do you announce your intention as men? Do you know
You want that?
like I'm looking for a wife or well man I ain't really ready or whatever.
I love this question. So this is what I say. The first date. Literally the first date. And the reason why I say this is because and I say it like this and people kind of look funny when I say it, but it's the truth. Time is wasting. Not your time, not his time. Time is wasting, period. We don't have time to waste. And our time is very important. And so if my intentions is out here to date and looking for a spouse, hey, I need for you to know this. If you're not on the same wavelength, we can be cool and maybe, like you said, maybe it may grow into it. But if you're out here spear hunting, really looking for that spouse or looking for, whatever, hey, like this is what I want, and that's it. Even for the young adults, I tell them like, hey, like if you really want to just be out here and just waste time, make sure you let that person across the table know that you just out here want to waste time.
Okay.
But if you're intentionally looking for, that spouse, hey, I am out here dating for my husband. I'm looking for him, possibly. Or I'm waiting for him. Let me say it biblically. I don't want the church folks to get upset at me. I'm patiently waiting, for my man. This is what I want because it's that time where I want this and I want that, whatever. I'm looking for that man, to be there for me and all those great stuff and let them know in details. Now, my approach is a little bit more like in your face kind of ish. But at the same time, the worst that they can say is, all right, cool, and keep it moving. But if we have, if we wind up saying what we want, they'll wind
So
up
as
opening
a
up and saying
female,
something.
that's what we should, on the
For
first
sure.
date or say, hey, look, bro, what we doing now? What we doing?
I mean, for the most part, yes, ma'am.
Because I got blocked right there, my finger waiting on.
And
Oh, you
let
done
me
said
say
that
let me
wrong.
say this. Let me say this because I don't know. It's been like this for a minute now. Let me say this, ladies, please don't block so quick.
Yes.
Now block when it's predatory, block when it's like crazy, but don't block so quick just because the first thing that they did was off to you. Give that man a chance, and I'm not saying give him a chance for a couple weeks or so. Like let him prove to you that he is actually a good man.
Okay.
And especially if we're going for a God-fearing man, let him prove to you that he is a God-fearing man. And if you don't see it that way, then cool. I'm not saying I don't like the whole block thing anyway. But swipe left or something.
I would say to that question, have realistic expectations instead of this. I want the bag and gotta have the bag. If he got it to give and he give it to you, now he's in a position where he can't help you when you need it. I mean, I think that's unrealistic. Some of the stuff that I see on social media or in public, people just wording what they expect from a man. If he can't buy me this, if he can't provide this. First of all, we're just dating. So it's to find out who you are for real and learn each other's personality. And sex is one thing, but a man giving a woman $10,000 the first week he know her, that's just as bad as jumping in the bed with her, I'm just saying.
Expectation of what is that money
The expectations need to be realistic instead of this garbage that I see on
Yeah.
social media nowadays, and then they all bragging about it, and
They watch too much Housewives.
Yeah.
That's Portia with that. You don't
That's
give me
poison.
$4,000 a month. I ain't, man. You know. I'm like, it's okay. I'm like, you in the wrong job. Sis.
right. So
But
I would just say realistic
they
expectations.
realistic. That's good. Let me ask you this. How does a woman of God show that she's available or single, other than the way she dressed or just directly saying, "Oh, I'm single"? I say this because my blood brother Joseph, he told me, he said, "Candy, you may never get married again." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "You're so unapproachable." And I was like, "Really? I'm just not seeing that of me." He said, "No. If I saw you at a grocery store, I would think you're married because everywhere you go, you walk like a married woman." I said, I was. I'm a widow. And I didn't learn for maybe 5 years after he passed. It didn't really become clear to me that I wasn't, his wife. So I felt like I was still a wife. So when Pastor said the other Sunday, like, if you say you're a wife and you're not Kennedy, then when Walter died, who am I? I'm not a wife anymore. So how do I find me? So now that I found me and I know and I'm in a safe place, in a healthy place, and I'm like, but I can't change the way I walk. So now every time I go to Publix, the brother looking, but he like, don't. It look like I must be married to Mean Joe Green or something like. She look like she got a big bro, So they just, And it's compliment like, oh, this is beautiful. But they automatically assume that I'm married. So what ways do that's mine? Like I ain't got nothing for it.
I'm married.
He ain't looking.
I ain't looking for no woman.
There you go. He said that's how you stay married all these years.
Well,
I'm stay married.
in my opinion,
I love it.
I think that you most definitely should carry yourself like a wife. I think because I had a revelation where the Bible says that when a man findeth a wife, he findeth a good thing. So it's almost like I won't find a girlfriend. It's just like once I put a ring on you, then you start operating in the efforts of being a wife. You're gonna already show me that you have character. You know how to carry yourself. You can be by yourself and not look like I'm the woman that every man is hovering over. Yes, because like I'm trying to
That's good, bro.
show a little shoulder. I'm trying to let you know that I am single. Like you look single, and if somebody approach you, yeah, I'm single, and I can have a conversation, but I'm not taken. But that's my delivery is gonna let you know I'm not taken. And but I don't want to be able to just look across a room and say, yeah, she clearly looking for this one. I need to keep my sights on her because
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. So it's like the way you carry yourself, the conversation. I think the spirit will lead the man to you. That's
Oh,
like,
that's
okay,
good.
she's prepared for it.
Yeah.
I just think you just run across a lot of men that's not confident because when I was single, I'm going after the one that everybody scared of. Oh, y'all scared of her?
Yeah.
I can say something to her. I can do this. I can do that. They just not they don't have confidence in themselves.
Well, that's good. That's good. That weeds out the weak ones.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody I can, easily handle. I need somebody that's gonna be able to say, you know what, babe, that ain't how we go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to give me accountability as well. I ain't always right.
That's not
Even
your
though-
fault. That's not your fault.
Yeah, facts.
Something like that. That's not your fault.
Facts. Especially if you're carrying yourself the way that you believe that you're supposed to, then that's most definitely not your fault. I think, I think that because of social media, it has driven all of the characteristics of the wife all over the place. When literally we legit forget to go to the Word of God, especially us as Christians, go to the Word of God and go to literally the for real who is a Proverbs 31 woman, like for real. Yeah. And when we look at that and you show that in public, you become intimidating because majority of the folks that come around don't want that. That's just real. But the ones that know, they coming, But also, again, just like I said earlier, because you guys are waiting, the right man is gonna come because he's looking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
So-
goes. Really goes in well with what Gabelle said. It's Gabelle, ain't it?
Gable.
I know it's an EL on there. I'm hooked on phonics. I tell you, they would say my name in so many ways. Kennedy, it's Canady, and I hear it. So it's like I'm very particular to. But I hear people say Gabe, and I seen an L.
Okay,
So I'm like, that ain't right. So I had to thank you so much for correcting me, Gable, because I really that's. Somebody told me, a lady told me one day, she said she couldn't say my name. And she was of the other persuasion, and she said, well, I'm just going to call you Candy. And I looked her dead in her face, and I said, I'm not going to answer you. I said, my name is Kunta, and it's not Toby. And I walked away. Because I said, you're not going to rename me.
Yeah.
So we just going to keep on going. That's just me, though.
No, everything I'm gonna use that one.
What?
That is funny.
And so another question, and we're going to get ready to wrap this up. How do men see intimacy other than sex?
I'll take that. I'm one of those that love intimacy, and you can have intimacy without sex, but you can't have sex without intimacy. Not good sex. I'm just saying, intimacy has nothing to do with sex. To me, intimacy is the little nudges, the communication. Not him, but
We know better. We got you.
that you and your woman have without saying a word, or
Yeah.
the little hand rubs, the touching, not sexually touching, but
Yeah.
just desiring to be close to each other. Like in leisure time in the living room, you see so many married couples, even in the movies, where the husband's sitting way over there on the couch and the wife sitting on the love seat by herself. To me, intimacy is when you want to be close to each other. You desire the touch of each other. And it's something that intimacy is something that nobody else but that person can get from you. Just like our intimate relationship with God, where we have a relationship with Him. We invest in it on a daily basis. It's not something, well, I held your hand last week. I don't see what the problem is. You know, I'm just saying, you want it all the time. You want it on a daily basis. You want it on a regular. You want it unannounced, spontaneous, and it's a connection between the two people.
Yeah. Anybody else about intimacy?
Again, just to piggyback off what Wayne was saying, what I'm noticing now is like just paying attention to your significant other, like making, like small gestures, even if it's, I see the type of gum you chew. I know you like this type of water, like, when I came in, I had your gum that you like without you asking for it, because I'm paying attention. I noticed you had 2 slices left. I brought you some. I know on Tuesdays you like to have tacos, and I pay attention. Hey, I got tacos, and it's something about just thinking about somebody, or with them not having to say something that they want. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm paying attention to you. Like, that's a form of intimacy. Like, hey, before you can open your mouth, I know what you're thinking about. I know what your needs are because I'm around you enough, and I pay that much attention to you, and I'm willing to give it to you. I don't have to, be sleeping with you to be giving you what you need. If that makes
That's your
sense.
love language.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your love language. Oh, that's good. That's good.
On the other side, don't strap a dude to the cross because he doesn't know what intimacy is either. Right. Because a lot of us are geared towards literally like physical, and some of us have not been taught how or what intimacy truly is. And so like before you write him off and he just want to touch all the time, sit down and have those conversations. Like this is why I'm big on like communication overall. Like have those conversations with him so that like he knows, hey, like we ain't gonna always whatever, or even if y'all even get to that point or not, have those conversations of like what does intimate, just like you asked us, what does intimacy look like to you? Like have those questions out loud and see what's up. Because he could also be saying one thing and try to do another. So you have to have you gotta have those conversations, and don't just write them off if you don't know either.
Cause you got that block thing.
Don't just write them off that quick now.
I
Because
have
some
no
things y'all gotta
time.
facts. Sometimes, to be honest, no matter what age you are, and I really don't, I don't like it. I don't like hearing it from the young adults. I don't like hearing it from anybody, to be honest. But like some things are you have to teach somebody. That's just real. Don't just say, "Oh, nah, I don't want to teach a man this," or even on our side, "I don't want to teach a woman this." Nah, like sometimes these are reasons why God put us together for a reason because I have to be taught or I have to learn something from you as well. And so if you're supposed to be my helpmate, hey, like help me get to this next level, and I'm going to help you get to your next level. So I have to learn from you just like you have to learn from me. So sometimes even in the dating phase, I have to learn something in the midst of that. And intimacy, I would say, like literally is one of the biggest things that sometimes we got to learn. So
And like you said, it's also being receptive.
That's
like
it.
he said,
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
being receptive to those things. Last question. Do men fall in love?
do they follow?
Do they believe in fall? Some men, you know,
asked that quick? You asked that
that my
question,
friend.
didn't
That my, I got love for her, or I got feel that's like that's just like chalkboard. I got feelings. What feelings? What is feelings? What you mean feelings? I got a lot of feelings too, but that don't mean they for you.
Whoa.
So let me, it could be gas, it could be any feeling. Yeah. But don't just tell me you
Not
feel
gas.
something. I need to know what that feeling is. So do men
You said gas.
Y'all give me a bumpy. I ain't want to do that.
Why they don't want to commit? Okay, I touch on both of it. Yes, men do fall in love. We have the capability to do so. Jesus, as we know, he fell in love with us. God fell in love with us, right? So we have the capability to do so. 100% on both ends. Just like women have feelings, we have feelings. I don't believe that there's an up and down to a point where you guys have more emotional, y'all are more emotional than us. I don't believe that. I believe that we're equally the same. You guys just express it in a different way. And so we just deem it or label it as you guys have way more emotions than we have. That's not true. We just compile it on the inside and then go crazy when we don't. But to the commitment question, I don't believe that men are afraid to commit. I believe that men are afraid to be vulnerable with somebody that they're trying to go forward with. And I mean, the reason why I say that is because majority of us, I'm not going to say all of us, the majority of us been raised for the most part by that single mother, right? And so we had to be the man of the house, and the man of the house had to make sure that everything is taken care of. So we're already in the quote-unquote husband mindset, but we're not able to say how we feel. Even when we had the fathers in the home, hey, you don't cry, don't do this, whatever type of ordeal. Yeah, suck it up and keep it moving. And so when it's time to go ahead and quote-unquote share our cross with you, it's hard to do so because we don't want to seem weak to you either. Even though y'all asked for it, which is crazy, y'all asked for it, but we still want to continue to hold that on. And so commitment isn't hard for us. It's literally truly finding that right person that we can really just not dump all of it on, but the majority of stuff onto them, and they're going to be able to carry it with us. That's kind of like our fear a little bit. That's kind of was our whatever. But also, again, with the right intentional of the right man, he's going to be ready to do so, but still kind of cautious too at the same time. Because just like you guys, we don't want to share our hearts with any and everybody either. It has to be that right person, And I'm also not saying even also in marriage, like, because I'm married too, it'd be 8 years this year, in August. But I'm not saying that it's not going to be, it's going to be super easy once you get married either,
You gotta work at it.
Exactly. With that though, it should be a little bit easier because in that dating phase, I'm getting to know her so much to the point where, okay, cool. I know if I hit this rough spot, I know you got me, regardless on what that looks like. I know if I don't, if I wind up losing my job, okay, cool. Like you're gonna be able to pick it up. You may fuss a little bit, you may feel some type of way, but you're gonna be able to do so. Hey, like if I'm sick, you sick, like. Kids sick, all stuff like that, whatever. We're doing this together because those are the times in a serious dating phase where I should get to know you. But that's just that's not even that's the test right there. Once we hit into the marriage part, hey, game on, you know. But yeah, that's how.
So
that's how
men
I
do
feel.
fall in love.
Oh,
They
yeah, we
do
fall in
wanna
love.
be in love. You do want to be in a relationship. Do I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep walking like a wife. So I thank you all. I really want to thank you all for taking this time to do this with us. Cause like I said, iron sharpens iron, and I really truly believe that I'm a healthier emotional person when it comes to men and women relationships because I had so many successful relationships with men. Meaning my husband, I did till death did us part. I did my job. And then I had big brothers. I'm the baby and the only girl, so I got slapped around if I didn't do it right. So I thank you all again for being my brothers. And like I said, I chose some that was married, some that was younger married, older married, younger single, older. So that because in our group we got a 25-year-old, we got a 35-year-old, and I want them all to see, to just start getting an introduction to how this works, and don't just throw yourself into something. And this is how you. Now I know that, hey, I ain't wrong. I ain't got to dumb it down. I can keep walking just like. Thank you for that. I'm gonna keep that all day. Now you know you got to hear that. And so if y'all would, it's just a little something from Game Changers. Reach under your chairs, and that's just a little token of appreciation for letting your light shine with us today. And I need for you to get that bag over there by your stuff, and it's under there. You move the chair.
Oh,
And that is for the cameraman. And I am so appreciative to you for everything you do. You do nothing but all he says yes. All he says yes and let me know. But I want them all to see that what I got you, because I really love that, and it's particular for you, because I want you to keep with your gift.
Come on now.
Awesome.
Come on.
And the rest of y'all got candles to keep your light shining for the Lord. And I thank you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
y'all don't mind. Y'all put the chair back.